This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, bees could be the answer to helping protect New Zealand's native plants after a study of pollen tracks movements. Race Unity Day at Dunedin's Logan Park High School has pupils greeting each other in many languages. And Ripe Festival in Wanaka is coming to fruition after many years' germination. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Dunedin Hospital has hit capacity and the Southern District Health Board has declared a code black, saying the public should avoid the emergency department if possible. This afternoon, Southern District Health Board Chief Executive Chris Fleming says the hospital is doing its best to deal with heavy demand, but patients can expect delays and some operations have been postponed. Fleming says it's a whole of a system issue and not restricted to the emergency department. A code black is where there are no available beds at the hospital. Early this morning there were 18 patients in the emergency department awaiting a bed and only 3 beds were available on the wards. Pollen knocked off the knees of Western honeybees could shape New Zealand's next line of defence against unwanted pest plants. A Dunedin study of the pollen brought back to hives by bees last year is set to be replicated further north.
A Dunedin beekeeper has been instrumental in helping researchers in a University of Otago study, hoping to find out which plants attract bees.
It was largely about developing methods, and then on top of that, we were very much interested in what are the bees foraging on in Dunedin. For me personally, that was the more interesting part of it.
The study looked at what urban bees are foraging on in the city, but also the method used to identify exotic plant species in the pollen brought back to the hive. Dunedin beekeeper Otto Hyank says researchers hope by tracking which plants bees are visiting, it can help with biosecurity management.
I can look at a beehive at certain times of the year and look at the colours of the pollen that are coming in and say, yeah, okay, I know that's broom, or I know that's five-finger, or because they're quite distinctive. But then there are lots and lots of things, colours of pollen, etc., that they come in with where I haven't got a clue what they've been foraging on.
Researchers say a new forensics of pollen is required, but even the best scientists can have difficulty seeing the type of pollen under a microscope. Screens have been placed in hives around Dunedin to collect pollen from bees within the hives, and Hyank says there has been a few surprises.
Our native broadleafs were a little bit of a surprise, like you don't often see that many bees on our native broadleaves, but there was definitely pollen from those there. I know that they forage on our native tree fuchsia because that has a very distinctive coloured pollen. The pollen is blue. Okay. And it shows up very clearly.
They are using a technique to break open the pollen, take out the DNA and amplify just a small region of it. Following Dunedin's project, a follow-up study is getting underway in Christchurch and Littleton. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Firefighters have ripped off roofing iron from an Invercargill flat after a kitchen blaze spread into its ceiling. Residents of a row of flats in the suburb of Appleby were evacuated about 10:30 a.m. today after smoke was spotted coming from one of the unit's roofs. It took fire crews 10 minutes to extinguish the fire before they continued to search for hotspots in the ceiling. The occupants of the property were not at home at the time, but arrived once firefighters entered. Firefighters were able to prevent the fire from catching onto surrounding structures. Pupils from more than 30 different cultural and ethnic backgrounds introduced themselves at Logan Park High School. The special assembly is held every year to celebrate Race Unity Day.
A kapa haka performance with lyrics about the importance of unity closed this year's Race Unity Day Assembly at Logan Park High School in Dunedin. The annual event celebrates pupils from different cultures across the world who are attending the school. And it's events like this that draw students such as Yuiko Aoyaki to the school.
I would say statistically that Logan Park is the most diverse school. It is a personal reason why I came to the school in the first place, and I think it is important to uphold that value.
The assembly is celebrated as part of Race Relations Week, and those involved say its message is an important one.
It's quite an important event because it's aimed to unify cultures and to celebrate the unique cultural diversities that we have here at the school. It's also an event to showcase what different cultures have to offer and to bring a voice to the minorities and to those that might not have a voice.
I think it is an important event because racism is present in every aspect of our society, and to remind ourselves that acceptance and tolerance and inclusivity are among our most important values. I think it's a small step, but a crucial one, into a more united future.
In Dunedin, the South today.
2 people were taken to Dunedin Hospital this morning after a car rolled on a wet road in South Dunedin. Emergency services were alerted to the single car crash on the corner of Strathallan Street and Andersons Bay Road just before 7 a.m. St John's says 2 people were taken to hospital with minor injuries. Meanwhile, about the same time, police were called to a collision involving a ute and a hatchback at the intersection of Frederick Street and Cumberland Street in central Dunedin. Police say people had minor injuries and St John's says ambulance staff did not attend. A new food and wine festival has debuted in Wanaka. The organiser says British entrepreneur and adventurer Richard Branson was a major inspiration for the event.
2,000 people turned up for the debut of a new festival in Wanaka. Called Ripe, the event celebrates food and wine from the central Otago region, with vendors having worked hard to make the festival a success.
Thanks to the wineries, because they've put so much effort in. They've gone over and above. It's not just, your basic stall. Go to Cloudy Bay or like Akaroa and Maud. There's furniture, there's water features, there's everything.
The event's organiser Nathan White says he got the inspiration for the festival from a book written by the founder of Virgin Records and Airlines.
I read a book by Richard Branson, and he said do something that you are passionate about and you're more likely to follow it through and sort of put the best into it.
White set a limit to the number of vendors so they could make decent money and come back next year. In the end, there were 18 wineries, 2 breweries, 1 cider maker, 2 distilleries and 1 kombucha stall, plus 7 food stalls and ice cream and coffee carts.
Yeah, well, it's a great day, as I planned perfectly over a year ago. So everyone's just come out for a good day in the sun. Music's going off, like everyone's getting out and about. The flow is perfect, and yeah, everyone's happy.
The Ripe Festival was held on the grounds of Corbridge Estate. In Wanaka, the South today.
Still to come on the South today, we take a look at a children's clothing store in Dunedin with the difference, and what do people in period costume and sheepdogs have in common? We'll find out after the break.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
risk of developing melanoma skin cancer. You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have got a deal for you. We're going hard, we're going early, so we've gone hard on the prices, 50% off, a great selection. Shorts, look at all these shorts. T-shirts, they're all half price. Check out all those tees along there. What about all these ones down here? Also at a great saving, 50% off. We're going hard, we're going early. Polo shirts, short sleeve shirts, there's such a variety.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's the Alex Campbell Menswear. Go hard, go early, summer sale. Don't miss this one.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Absolutely good time, you should come.
Welcome back. Police are warning of counterfeit notes circulating after one was used at a Dunedin dairy. Senior Sergeant Craig Dennison says a man bought items at a dairy in Hillside Road using a $100 counterfeit note. He says retailers need to be aware that at least one counterfeit note has been circulating in Otago. People in costumes from 100 years ago and sheepdogs mixed together north of Dunedin. The event was celebrating the centenary of the Collie Club in Palmerston.
After disruptions last year due to COVID-19, the Palmerston Collie Club finally got to celebrate 100 years since it was founded in 1920. The club's secretary-treasurer Kate Pont and her husband helped supply sheep for the 2 days of dog trials.
My family, we've been living in Waikawhati for 10 years now. And my husband and I have been president, he's president, I'm treasury secretary for the last, I've been 5 years, he's been probably 8 or 9.
Pont was one of several club members dressed up in the clothes of yesteryear to celebrate the centenary.
It's a big job to get this up and running and ready to go for the year, but it's a lot of fun, and all our husbands and things support every other dog trial, so we're just doing our bit to keep the dog trial community rolling, I guess.
The trials were just some of a series being held around the region, with dog owners chasing points to qualify for the South Island and New Zealand Championships to be held near Gore in May. In Palmerston, the South Today.
2 sisters who were originally refugees from Syria have opened a children's clothing store in Dunedin with a difference. The shop retails clothes made in Turkey in styles and colours not often seen in New Zealand.
This children's clothing store on Dunedin's George Street has been opened by 2 sisters from Syria. Malik Akam says she and her family got a chance to start a new life after they fled Syria and ended up living in Lebanon for about 5 years.
After that, the UN called us and gave us chance to travel to some countries, but we don't know if to New Zealand or different country. Then we came to here in 2016, and we start our life here. Everything new for us, culture, people, language.
Both Akam and his sister Noor went to the Otago Polytechnic, first to study English and then accounting. Now they've decided to open up this shop to put their studies into practice.
We want to have a new idea, maybe customer like it, or we don't know, but we want like this challenge, and if success, that's very good for us. If not, we will experience.
The sisters get their stock from a contact in Turkey, with the clothes and colours and styles not easily available in this country. And Akam says she and her sister are determined to continue other business ventures together in the future.
We start the shop together and we want to continue together studying and continue for the shop and other things.
In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, a 24-unit housing complex started in 2013 is almost ready for residents to move in, and we take a look at tomorrow's weather for you. So see you after the break.
Hi, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores have got a deal for you. We're going hard, we're going early, so we've gone hard on the prices, 50% off, a great selection. Shorts, look at all these shorts. T-shirts, they're all half price. Check out all those tees along there. What about all these ones down here? Also at a great saving, 50% off. We're going hard, we're going early. Polo shirts, short sleeve shirts, there's such a variety.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's the Alex Campbell Menswear, go hard, go early, summer sale. Don't miss this one.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Thanks for staying with us. A drug dealer who was arrested just days before sitting his university final exams has avoided imprisonment. 22-year-old Adam Graham pleaded guilty to 7 charges regarding Class A, B and C drugs during his time at the University of Otago. Graham used text messages and the social media app Snapchat to organise drug sales over several months last year. He was sentenced to 12 months home detention. Building has almost finished on Dunedin's Toi Ora High Street co-housing development, and residents are expected to start moving in within a couple of weeks. The 24-unit complex started to take shape in 2013 when Urban Co-housing bought the former school site. A wide range of residents will make it an intergenerational co-housing neighbourhood. The residents have been having weekly catch-ups for the past 4 years, so most now know each other well. In some cases, multiple generations from a family are moving into different units. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Bees could be the answer to helping protect New Zealand's native plants after a study of pollen tracks the movements of bees. Race Unity Day at Dunedin's Logan Park High School has pupils greeting each other in many languages. And the Ripe Festival in Wanaka is coming to fruition after many years' germinations in the mind of its creators. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page. What have you got for us in tomorrow's paper?
Good evening. Yeah, a story about some more issues for Dunedin Hospital. Today announcing the hospital was in code black and urging the public to avoid the emergency department unless it was deemed absolutely necessary.
I was just thinking about that. When was the last time we've ever had a code black at Dunedin Hospital?
You're putting me on the spot there, aren't you?
I don't know. Seriously.
Quite some time. Yeah, I mean, the demand for beds at the moment was incredibly heavy, and they only use this when it's deemed critical. Apparently this morning there were 18 patients in ED awaiting beds and only 3 available beds within the hospital. So, yeah, putting lots of pressure on hospital staff as well as they're trying to move patients and create space for and treat people that need care, I guess. Yeah, so they're desperate to try and do something about that in the short term. But yeah, I guess the message is if you can keep away from the emergency department, that would be great in the short term anyway.
But still, if you need emergency care, that's the best place to be.
Yeah. So tomorrow's March 25th, and that marks a year since we went into level 4 lockdown for COVID. We've got a nice story to mark the occasion with Dunedin dressmaker Judy Ross. A year ago tomorrow, we all went into lockdown. She decided to start making a hand-stitched dress from recycled fabric and feature a lot of embroidery on it as well. So it's taken the best part of a year. Lockdown helped because she had plenty of time on her hands, but then had to use weekends to complete it. Several thousand hours gone into it. Just finished, and now she happens to be wearing it tomorrow out for dinner, which is her wedding anniversary. So it's been an amazing 12 months for her.
That's a really cool story.
Yeah, and lovely photos as well. We're also running a selection of pictures from our time in lockdown, so something to look back there and reminisce about, I guess. There's a story about concerns about behaviour in the new bus hub at Great King Street. Lots of youths in there drinking, fighting and huffing as well, and just a bit of making it unpleasant for other people using the area. There's security cameras, but unfortunately they're not switched on at the moment, strangely enough, and police are trying to do their best to get those turned on as soon as possible. The weird thing is police are on the same street, so...
Yeah, you think they'd sort of behave at the police station.
Poke their head out the window occasionally, you would have thought anyway. So the youths are either brave or a bit stupid, who knows. Yeah. And just finally, Highlanders named for the big clash against Hurricanes on Friday night in Dunedin. Aaron Smith, poised to become the most capped Highlander at 154 matches. And we may also get a chance to see the Japanese World Cup star Kazuki Himeno, who's he's been over here, he's been locked down, he's finally out and fit, rearing to go. He'll start on the bench, so we'll get a look at him as well.
Fantastic, so you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, a Bengal cat enjoying a stretch after the rain. Looking at the situation, mild and northerly airflow will increase over the region in the next few days, with rain developing on the western coast for the weekend. Starting at the northwest of the South Island, sun hides behind cloud at times for those over here, with moderate winds. Westport and Greymouth are set to reach 19 degrees. Moving to the northeast to Waipounamu. Plan for a few clouds in Nelson with light winds and 21 degrees. Blenheim is overcast with moderate winds and 19. Heading to the Canterbury region, sun with a few clouds and light winds for all here. Kaikoura and Christchurch head for 16 degrees and Ashburton will be similar but with a higher 20 degrees. Moving to the southern towns, expect high cloud cover for most here. The Catlins aims for 17 with breezy northeasterlies, while Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore all head for 19 degrees with moderate northerlies. Looking to the central region, it's mostly fine weather with clear skies and moderate northerlies for all here. 23 degrees for Wanaka, 22 in Queenstown, and Alexandra has the region high of 24 degrees. Tiana is due for 17 degrees and can expect some cloud. Moving to the northern towns, the coast will see some clouds in the skies with moderate northeasterlies. Moving inland, there's clear skies with fine weather and moderate northerlies. Oamaru heads for 18 degrees with Timaru looking at one better on 19 degrees. Twizel and Amarama are set to reach a decent high of 24 degrees. In Dunedin, it's cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 11 degrees. Mostly cloudy but dry tomorrow with fresh breezy northeasterlies, a high of 16 and a low of 12. And it's milder on Friday with moderate to fresh northerly winds, sunny periods and high cloud, looking at a high of 22 and a low of 14. And in Invercargill, cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 9 degrees. Becoming fine and sunny tomorrow with moderate, mild and northerly winds developing, looking at a high of 18 and a low of 10. Mild and northerlies freshening up and cloud increases on Friday with some rain developing at night, looking at a high of 19 and a low of 13. And that's all from the South Today team for this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.